Hey guys, welcome to Juicy Tea, where I read out the best stories on Reddit, so you don't have to. The funny, shocking, and satisfyingly juicy. So, I've read a lot of Reddit posts, but this one is definitely the craziest. Am I the a-hole? Who am I kidding? I'm definitely the a-hole for sleeping with my ex-fiancé's affair baby 23 years later. Posted by Specific Director 1785. I'm a 45-year-old guy, single, no kids. All names are fake. Okay, here's the short version. About 24 years ago, my then fiancée, Ella, then 20, told me she was pregnant. I was over the moon. We hadn't set a wedding date yet, so we decided to wait till the child was 2 or 3 to be part of the wedding party. When she was about 7 months pregnant, my world shattered. A friend, let's call him Luke, told me that the child was his and not mine. This led to a physical fight, and Ella took his side. We were done. I broke up with her then and there. And she moved in with Luke. I demanded a paternity test. If the child was mine, I was going to be in its life. After she was born, the test was done twice, by a clinic I chose and one she chose. Turned out she was not mine. I was destroyed and left town. She could have her life, but I didn't want to witness it. And now to the present. A month ago, my work brought me back to my hometown temporarily for 2 weeks. I ran into Ella with her daughter Nikki, 23, at an impromptu school reunion. Ella wanted to catch up. I wasn't angry anymore, but I also didn't see the point in being friends. I declined and mingled, and after a while, I sat at a table, nursing a drink. Ella had already left when Nikki sat at my table. She asked for 10 minutes to talk. She knew about my history with her mother, and it was clear that she resented her mother, because Luke was also not her bio dad. Ella had cheated on me with at least 2 people. She revealed that the real bio dad had already passed away. When Nikki was 7, Luke found out and kicked them both out. It became the scandal. Nikki was bullied her whole life for being an affair baby. Luke's family disowned her. All the cousins she was close with were suddenly gone, and she blamed her mother. I asked her why she told me all this. She said that I was someone who could understand this betrayal, and that as she's a product of that betrayal, she didn't expect anything from me, but she just needed someone to talk to that would understand. I felt for this kid, so we kept talking. We exchanged contact info and went our own ways. The next day, she wanted to talk more, to vent more. So we met in the bar of the hotel I was staying in. We had drinks, and she ranted about her life. We talked till late, and when the bar closed, Nikki was too drunk to drive home. And since I didn't know where she lived, I couldn't even get her an Uber. So I took her to my room. I have a habit of always getting a room with twin beds. So she slept in one bed and I slept in the other. Nothing happened. The next morning we had breakfast and she left as I went to work. But a few nights ago, I met Nikki in the bar because she still had a lot to rant about. We also talked about her future. She wants to move out of town to escape the stigma of being the affair baby. Here's where I'm the a-hole. I made a move on her that night. At first, she walked away. I thought I blew it, so I went up to my room. An hour later, she sent me a text asking if I was in my room. As soon as I responded yes, she knocked on the door. I was sober. She was sober. I had time to think. I could have sent her away, but I didn't. This was the daughter of my ex-fiancé. If I'd never found out that Ella had cheated, I'd have raised Nikki as my own daughter. But I found out, and Nikki is not my daughter. I never saw her as a baby, never saw her grow up. I never saw her as my daughter. The first time I saw her was a week ago. So yes, I slept with her, and then again. Nikki is more vengeful than me. She wanted to let her mother know, but she wasn't going to do it if I didn't want to. I was okay with letting her know. We took a picture together, clearly in bed, clearly naked, but covered by sheets. And she sent it as a one-time view picture to her mother, with the caption, "I can finally call him daddy." Ella called and they got into a fight. Then she got into a fight with me, still over the phone. I thought I was over the betrayal, but it seemed like I'd just balled everything up, and now it finally came out. I had 4 more days there, and Nikki stayed in my hotel room for those 4 days. Now I'm back home. Nikki is currently packing everything. She's going to move to another country to be away from this toxic environment. She'll stay with me for a week, maybe more, before she flies away. She's going no contact with her mother. I've also blocked Ella on everything. Yes, Nikki and I are both broken. I refused therapy for years, but after that outburst where I told Ella everything I'd bottled up, I've decided I do need therapy. I've suggested it to Nikki too, and she said that once she's settled, she will. I'm not even gonna ask because I'm the a-hole. I know I am. Down in the comments, Godito Delgado says, honestly, no matter the fakeness, I kind of found it entertaining. If I read another post in this thread about two grown adults communicating in the stupidest possible way while avoiding the obvious solution, my eyes were all so hard they might dislocate. Yeah, this story might be fake, you never really know. But honestly, I don't really care. If you're gonna make up stuff anyway, at least make it entertaining. This story was really fun to read. If any of you have come across a more insane Reddit post, let me know. Am I the a-hole for telling her if her life is so hard, she can get a job? Posted by Primary Ad 9782. I do love her, but I'm really annoyed right now. My girlfriend couldn't get through college because it was too difficult for her. She was 24. She was crying all the time and stressed out. She tried for multiple years, but couldn't do it. She said it was just too hard for her. And after discussing it a lot, I said that she could drop out and I'd take care of her. I like the idea of giving someone I love a really happy and great life. She can enjoy herself and chase after hobbies. I'd always picture myself with someone that was highly educated, like I was, but I realized it doesn't have to be that way, and some people are happier without the capitalist grind. It was hard for a while, especially when we were younger and I was still in school, but I'm an engineer now. Since I'm the only one providing, I work 40 to 50 hours per week. I love my job and I'm passionate about what I do, but it's physically exhausting. It zaps my energy, even on the weekends. I'm still very young though, so I was hoping to work less in the future. She does like 90% of the cooking and cleaning, but we have a smallish condo. We live in a big city, and we have no kids. We just have a dog. So I was shocked when we were hanging out with some new friends and she mentioned that she was a stay-at-home mom and it was the hardest job in the world, what she did. I corrected her and said we don't have any kids and we didn't even want any for the next 10 years. She said sure, but our dog is our child. For the rest of the dinner, she went on to talk about how difficult being a housewife is with a woman that was actually a stay-at-home mom. It really rubbed me the wrong way. I wouldn't ever say I had the hardest job in the world. Afterwards, I asked her what she meant. I said she was living the life. I'd kill to be in her shoes. I'm clocking 50 hours a week while she's sending me pictures of her shopping at Target, spending hundreds somehow, and she has the hardest job in the entire world? I said, that makes me feel really unappreciated. She said I was unappreciating her. It is the hardest job in the world. Cooking and cleaning is exhausting. She said she spent 6 hours cooking yesterday. I pointed out that all she made was a Chipotle bowl. If that's taking you 6 hours, you're doing it wrong. She said she was counting in the hours she spent letting the beans simmer. Like GFC, it comes off as extremely privileged, which I guess she is. I told her she has no idea what it's like for me. She's never worked a full-time job in her life. And her talking about how hard cooking beans is rubbed me the wrong way. I said if it was that hard, she could go back to school or get a job and we'll hire a cook and a cleaner. If I hired someone to do her job, I'd save a lot of money. It turned into a big fight and she called me an a-hole. So, am I the a-hole? Down in the comments, OKRegister3005 says, not the a-hole, you're being taken advantage of. This will not get better. You should consider yourself lucky that she's just a girlfriend and you have no kids. Leave now. She will always be entitled and always think she's doing more. Counting the beans simmering, she's ridiculous. OP responded, I feel horrible for reconsidering our relationship over this, but I am. It just made me realize how entitled and ungrateful she is. Who counts the time it takes for food to simmer as the amount of time you spent working? She was probably just watching TV. I'm not gonna make any rash decisions, I'm gonna think about it, but I definitely don't think our relationship can continue the way it currently is. I'd appreciate it if she at least got a job maybe. I don't know, I think it's a good idea for everyone to work a full-time job at least some part of your life. So obviously the girlfriend's very ungrateful and entitled, but I want to focus on the other side of this. OP said he was working super hard now so he can work less later on, which makes a lot of sense, but right now, all that extra work he's putting in isn't actually going towards his future, it's just paying for his girlfriend to be lazy. And since she's clearly not happy about it anyway, what's the point? He'd be far better off insisting she gets a job and split things more equally, and then putting all that extra money into savings and investments that could one day fund his life, so he doesn't have to work so hard. And hey, apparently she'd be happier too, no longer doing the hardest job in the world. Obi really is being taken advantage of here, and he's gonna regret it down the line when he realizes that all that hard work was for nothing. If you liked this video, please let me know and subscribe for more juicy tea.